If you have one of these, you have everything you need to make some kind of content. The barrier to entry these days is basically like the end of gladiators. And that means if you can do something super easy like ensuring that your audio sounds better than someone shouting into a tunnel, you're going to stand out from the crowd in a massive way. Here are a bunch of tiny mics that can help you out. In most of my videos, I use a professional recording setup to make sure I get some nice, deep and crisp and even audio, but that also means that I need to have a bunch of wires handy to record all of this separately, and then I have to sync up my audio to my video afterwards. I do it for the likes, but yeah, it's quite a lot of work. The much easier option is to have something that plugs straight into your camera or phone, and that just levels up your audio instantly. And that's what today's video is all about. We're going to look at some tiny wireless microphones that plug straight into your device. Now, some of these are pretty cheap, some are more expensive, some are super cute, and others have got some really clever tricks up their sleeves. And yes, some of these were sent to me to try out, but as usual, no one gets to see this before publishing or has any say in what I have to report after I've tested them all out. Let's take a look and see which one is right for you, and yes, of course, we'll do a full sound test comparison of every single one. I've got quite a bit of Godox kit here in my YouTube studio. They're pretty well known in the video industry as the gold standard for lots of different video making gear, and I was really intrigued to see them bring out a microphone like this. This is called the Cube SC. It's a 2.4G wireless microphone. Now, if you don't know why that's important, it's basically miles better than using Bluetooth, which some of the other more expensive microphones I'm about to show you will still use. And that really stable wireless connection means that these work over a distance of 300 meters. Now, I don't know why you need to be 300 meters away from your device, but it's a big flex. It comes in this tiny lipstick style case, and in here you get two microphones and a receiver unit too. I cannot stress enough, these microphones are absolutely tiny. Each one weighs just 7 grams and comes with some colourful stickers if you either want people to know that you're wearing a mic or maybe just disguise it as a pin or a badge instead. In each box you'll get a couple of windscreens, magnetic clips and a lanyard strap that lets you wear it around your neck. Now, in terms of special tricks, these come with Apple Find My integration, which should help you find them if they ever get lost, and they have a 24-bit sampling rate, which should be more than fine for most use cases. Now, another cool feature is that the microphones double as a remote control, so even if you're a distance from your phone, you can activate the record function or even snap a photo from up to 50 meters away with a double click of this little button here. Now, battery wise, you can expect up to 10 hours of recording time on a single charge, but combining this with the charging case, that gives you up to 30 hours of recording. Plenty for almost all uses. It also comes with 2 levels of built-in noise reduction to save you messing around with that in your editing software, and we'll see how that works in just a second. You can use the Godox Mic app to adjust a bunch of settings, including real-time video monitoring, updating the firmware, and also generally tinkering around with this to get it sounding exactly how you want. Here's a little audio test for you. It's worth noting that with all of the mics we're looking at today, you're going to hear 2 clips, one taken here in the studio, one taken outside with no effects added, and then one with extra noise cancelling added here in my editing software. This is me wearing the Godox Cube mic inside my studio setup. This is me testing the Godox Cube S mic in a busy city environment. And this is the Godox Cube mic with a bit of extra sound isolation applied. Okay, so the Godox Cube retail at $93 or about £92, but offers are available. Next up, we have the Lark M2s from Hollyland. Again, it's kind of wild to me that tech like this exists. These little microphones are the size of a coat button and are packed full of tech. I've got the combo version here, which gives me the option of connecting to a camera via this receiver unit or using my iPad, computer, or iPhone using this plug-in USB-C receiver. Most of that is all stored away in this AirPod style charging case, and the rest you can use this little bag for. And even though these don't fit in the case, also included are windscreens, the cable you'll need for hooking this up to a camera, and some magnetic clips and magnets to give you loads of options for attaching these to wherever or whoever you want. And these also come with little skins to add a bit of personality to your setup, or they will allow you to even pop it around your neck on this lanyard strap. Now, I would say that whilst these are pretty cool, you're probably better off using a clip or a magnet to make sure they don't bounce around and give you lots of unwanted noise. The Lark M2s also offer 24-bit audio, and like the Godox set, they work over a 300-meter range. Likewise, you're getting that super reliable 2.4G wireless signal, and this specially designed metallic mesh on the top is here to protect against dust as well as infrared and radio frequency interference. Pretty cool. Interestingly, these also have built-in noise cancellation, so each of these little buttons have got two microphones inside. One of them captures vocals and ambient noise, and the other mic captures just ambient noise, and that means it can produce the opposite sound of the ambient noise and effectively cancel out any hustle and bustle if you're recording somewhere really noisy. Each microphone will give you 10 hours of recording time, and the charging case will also boost that to a total of 40 hours. Now, you can charge the whole thing in about 1.5 hours, so you could feasibly use this on a shoot without worrying too much about battery life. Here's how they sound. This is me wearing the Lark Hollyland M2s inside my studio setup. This is me testing the Lark M2s in a busy city environment. And this is me testing the Lark M2s with a bit of extra noise isolation applied. So the Lark M2 combo kit starts at $139, or you can pay a bit less for the version that comes with just the USB-C or Lightning receiver. Now, for the sake of $26, I'd personally grab the combo version so that you've got the option to connect it up to a camera if you ever need to. The receiver unit that connects to your camera is actually really easy to use. It gets this little twisty dial that's got this very satisfying click on it. Listen to this. Next on the scene is the Wireless Micro, which is new from Rode. This hasn't got many extras included, but the idea is that it's very much plug and play. Now, this is mainly designed for smartphones, but it does work with iPads and computers using this little USB-C receiver. You can also buy a Lightning version if you've got an older iPhone. Now, this charging case is tiny and it houses the receiver as well as these two transmitters. And you also get in the box a magnetic attachment and some little furry windshields. Although you probably won't need them, as this one has got a patent pending acoustic chamber design, which has a built-in wind filter somehow packed into this tiny size. Now, like the other two, you can expect 24-bit audio out of these, and battery-wise, you'll be able to record for 7 hours on each one. That's up to 20 hours in total if you include the case. Now, there's a bunch of connected apps available from Rode, but the obvious one is Rode Capture, and that lets you have finer control of the microphones and also a dual camera mode that lets you record with your front-facing and selfie cameras at the same time. It's pretty handy. There are some other smarts too. The Wireless Micro have got this gain assist technology, which is designed to automatically control audio levels and balance out your sound in pretty much any application. Let's test that out. This is me wearing the Rode Wireless Micro inside my studio setup. This is me testing the Rode Wireless Micro in a busy city environment. And this is me testing the Rode Wireless Micro with some extra noise isolation applied. So the Wireless Micro kit from Rode starts at $149, so a bit more expensive than the other two. Did they sound more expensive to you? Let me know in the comments. Okay, next up, let's have a look at some more expensive options still, and you'll have seen these everywhere if, like me, you watch too much YouTube. This is the DJI Mic version 2, and you can either buy it in a set like this with a couple of mics and a receiver that's good for USB Lightning devices, or even plugging it into a camera kit, or, like me, you sometimes get them bundled with something like the Osmo Pocket 3. Either way, they work over Bluetooth. Now with these, the price jumps up to $349 with the 2 mic option, or $219 with the 1 mic option and without the charging case. That's quite a big leap, so let's look at maybe why that might be. Well, one key difference is the audio quality. So rather than 24-bit audio like we've seen in the others, this one gives you 32-bit float recording. Now, is that something that the average person will notice? Probably not. In simple terms, it just means it's gathering more data with more dynamic range when you record, which means you can capture more detail in the audio files, and that'll let you mix and work with them in a much more nuanced way. Now, if you're in a professional audio setting, like maybe recording an instrument, you might be able to tell, but I think the average listener probably won't notice if you're doing camera to voice work like this. Now, the receiver here is pretty fancy. It's got a touchscreen interface that lets you swipe through all the different settings, as well as this twiddly little dial. It's incredibly fiddly to use, but it's also nice to have that option, as well as good to have an audio out jack, as well as an input so that you can monitor what audio you're recording. Another cool feature is that each microphone acts like a little storage device. It lets you record up to 14 hours of audio directly into the microphone without needing a receiver at all. So you could use this as a backup audio recorder and then just pop the files over to your computer when you're done. Let's have a listen to see how these sound. This is me wearing the DJI Mic 2 inside my studio setup. This is me testing the DJI Mic 2 with a bit of noise isolation applied. And this is me testing the DJI Mic 2 with a bit of extra noise isolation from my editing software. Now, annoyingly, as I was making this video, DJI only went and released a tiny microphone kit that's about $169 or $89, depending on how many mics you want and whether you need a charging case. Now, I haven't tested this out, but I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out for yourself. Now we're still in more premium mode here. Let's go back to Godox and check out their other wireless microphone set, which is a bit less mini than the Godox Cubes we looked at earlier, and it's got a really clever party trick up its sleeve. Here it is, we've got a receiver unit, and that also acts like a charging device for your two microphones. How cool is that? It's like a little transformer. So this is a more of a professional setup that will let you connect up to a phone or a tablet in the same way as some of those tiny budget microphones, but also gives you the kit to connect this all up to a camera as well. So in the box, you get two mics, a base for your receiver to sit on, a cable to connect up to your camera, a cable for your phone or tablet, some magnets, and some also fluffy little dead kittens. I'm not a terrible person, by the way. That is exactly what these little fluffy things are called. You get tons of precision here, so you can tune each microphone to the way you want it and also activate noise reduction in just one click. And they go a bit harder than the DJI mic with 8 hours of recording time. That's 16 hours in total with both receivers. The main benefit of having this kind of setup that I can see is that you can choose how it records, either a mono track with two identical channels, you can use both microphones in stereo mode with separate channels, or you can use them to record a safety track at a lower level just in case you get any nasty peaks in your audio when you're recording. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, if you've ever spent a whole day recording something only to find the audio has been shafted, you'll be thankful of a backup track to fall back on. Anyway, let's have a listen to how these ones sound. This is me wearing the Godox XT1s here in the studio. This is me testing the Godox XT1s in a busy city environment. And this is me testing the Godox XT1s with a bit of extra noise isolation applied. Interestingly, the Godox Magic XT1 set retails at $83, which, let me check my notes here, it's actually cheaper than the Cube. So I reckon this one is a bit of a low-key bargain when you think about the comparison next to the DJI kit, which is more than double the price. Let me know what you think in the comments. And finally, I thought I'd bring these bad boys out, and I like the DJI set. These are also fairly ubiquitous, but they're also fairly massive. I don't know many people who would sit with one of these huge squares attached to their clothes, which is why most uses I've seen have got them stuck onto a little microphone stick like this, or even using the included lavalier set to hide this huge transmitter out of sight. Now, these are the most expensive of the whole bunch at over $360, so let's see what you get for your money. Now, in the box you get these two cubes. One is a charging case, which lets you charge up two mics and a receiver unit, and together these will give you over 40 hours of recording, along with that 32-bit float feature that we saw on the DJIs, plus the ability to have onboard recording. The other box has got a bunch of accessories in, including two Kevlar cabled lav mics, covers, and all kinds of clips. These actually screw in to the receiver, so you don't need to worry about the cable getting pulled out and losing all your audio by accident. Now, there are also magnetic clips, dead kittens, and quite a bit more. There are a couple of issues that I found with these so far that I did want to flag up. Firstly, these receivers are absolutely massive. If you don't want to use the lav mics and you don't want to wave them around on a mic stand like this, you'll be forced to wear them on you, and they're quite a difficult thing to hide away. Secondly, these lights are pretty bright and can't be turned off. You could always tape them up, I guess, but if you're filming someone, this might give you some annoying blue, red, or green glows. And then finally, this was a challenge I've had with my specific camera. Unlike the DJI and Godox set, there isn't an audio out on the receiver. That basically means that if I'm using this on a shoot, I've got to trust that my camera is picking up the audio, or that the onboard audio is doing its job. Now, I am a bit of a control freak, so I do like to monitor audio, so I bought this extra accessory from Amazon that lets me split the audio into the camera and then back to my headphones. I'm pretty sure that might reduce the quality, but I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments if that is the case. Now, the killer feature here though is the time code capability, which helps you synchronize audio with video really easily. If you're working with lots of cameras, but one audio source like this, trust me, this will be something you'll be really thankful for. Then again, if that's you, chances are that you're some sort of professional videographer or sound person, which the Mini Rode kit isn't really aimed at. So is it worth spending 3 times as much on these instead? Have a listen. This is me wearing the Røde Wireless Pros here in the studio. This is me testing the Røde Wireless Pros in a busy city environment. And this is me testing the Røde Wireless Pros with a bit of extra noise cancellation applied. There we are, folks. Hope that gave you some options and information to help you make a better choice when it comes to wireless microphones for your particular use case, whether that's posting video content online or maybe just taking a Zoom call. Now, of course, your mileage may vary, but after I tested them all out with my setup, I've been really impressed by how good your audio can sound with any of these tiny microphones. The Godox, Lark, and the Rode sets all perform brilliantly in lots of different settings and are well worth your money if you're in the market for a new mic. Now, if you're interested to see some of the other gear that I work with for filming these videos, there's a full rundown right over here. See you next time, folks.